Not too many people know that even students can start their business in the UK. Not on student visa, but on the graduate visa. So today I have Rishab with me who's going to share his journey, how he moved to the UK and how he started his own restaurant business in Newcastle. So if you're interested in this topic, make sure you keep watching the video till the end. But before that, a quick introduction about myself. My name is Sarica and welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. I have some exciting news for students who want to study abroad. These are the list of the countries that we support and my team can help you free of cost. So, what do you have to do? You have to fill the form which is provided in my video description and my team will reach out to you. So, without any further delay, let's get started with today's video and invite Rishab. Hi Rishab, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself to my audience, please?
Absolutely. So myself Rishab Sardana, and I have came from a city called Indore, tier 2 town in Madhya Pradesh. Currently, I'm living and staying in Newcastle. I came here for my masters in 2021 in operations, logistics, and supply chain management. In India, I did my bachelor's in business as well, and I come from a business family as well, so it was kind of my interest as well. Again, there is few more things which is we will talk further about business again. So it's mostly my background is very much linked with business, I can say, because it's a business family as well. And the area I've grown up is again was a Sindhi community area. So Sindhi people are again business minded. A lot of business is coming in my background, and that's it. At the moment, I graduated myself in 2022.
Thank you for your introduction, Rishab. So you are on graduate visa and you come from a business family. So it was very obvious for you to start your business in the UK. I follow you on Instagram, so of course I know all your stories, but not my family on YouTube. They don't follow you. So maybe it's for them. Tell me, what did you do during your graduate visa? Did you start your business or with whom? So talk about it.
I always had a desire to start a business, but it's not really as easy as it sounds. I mean, it's not something impossible either. But when you start, you have to start with certain kind of jobs to gain that experience in market, to have that communication skills in yourself. So basically, from when I started, I had to start with a job, obviously, because I didn't had enough contacts in here. I didn't have even enough savings to start a business at that point. So I started with a few jobs like working in factory, KFC, working in a restaurant, and then I worked for like a phone shop as well in a mall, like a retail assistant. And then did I did other few jobs as well, like in customer service, like Newcastle Building Society I worked for. And then I worked for Barclays later. So it was a long journey and a roller coaster ride overall. Didn't straight up landed to a business. So it took me a long time to come to a point where I had enough connections, enough savings to jump into a business.
Now, Rishabh, tell me, how did you start your own business? I know you did partner with someone, but can you talk about it? What business did you start and with whom?
So basically, it's a restaurant which is pure veg. I found a gap in the market that there's no one serving purely authentic Indo-Chinese and sort of North Indian food in Newcastle, that too in pure veg segment.
Right.
So I just found this gap, and with the help of my Instagram, I knew that there is a lot of Indian people living around. So I just came up with this idea. And then again, I had a family with me who was like so much into cooking and catering kind of stuff. I kind of partnered with them, and they were like UK locals. They are working in the restaurant as well, and I'm working as a marketing partner or a manager of business or a face of business.
Right.
And they are in like kitchen and on the document wise, if we'll say, because to sponsor yourself you can't be a director of that company.
Yeah.
And with me being on PSW, I can open a company, but I cannot become I cannot become an employee and director of a company at the same time. So I have to be either. If I would have been a director of that company, then I could have not sponsored myself. That's why I came up with this idea to get into partnership with this family, because they were already in food industry as well. I needed a visa too. Make sure if they are not British passport holder, at least they are ILR holder. So it becomes easier for home office to track their record, to give you a visa faster.
If you need any further assistance, consider consulting legal professionals like J Solicitors, a multi-award winning immigration law firm based in London. As you are aware, I don't possess a license or a degree to provide any legal advice, but J Solicitors do. They are highly recommended by Legal 500 and are regulated by Solicitors Regulation authority, and you can see the SRA ID as well. Regardless of whether you are applying for a self-sponsorship visa or a skill visa or a global talent visa or any visa, you can seek their legal assistance to navigate the application process smoothly. But did you know that their most popular service is self-sponsorship visa, which allows individuals to establish and operate their own businesses in the UK. Moreover, successful applicants can settle in the UK with their families within 5 years. However, it's essential to know that legal fees for self-sponsorship visas are 30,000 plus VAT for individuals residing abroad. For those already in the UK, there's a more affordable package priced at 15,000 plus VAT. So, if you have a solid business plan and sufficient funds, I encourage you to reach out to them via the link provided in my video description. Taking this step could turn your dreams of living in the UK into reality. Okay, so Rishab, can you just talk about the first step when you guys thought of coming together to start this restaurant, Indian restaurant in Newcastle? What was the first step you did? Of course, I know there are a lot of logistic things which you would have discussed and paperwork, but officially to register your business, what did you do?
So even before registering, I started looking for a place actually. And then I got a lease in my name, because if I'll have the, not in my name but in that person's name who's going to be the director of the company. So I got a lease for the address purpose, so that I can give it everywhere. On that address, I registered the company on UK government website. It used to be £12, but I have recently seen it has gone up a little bit. So I'm not sure how specific it has gone up by, but I think it's around £50 now.
Rishabh, first thing is, what is the name of the website where people have to go and register their company?
So it's the official UK government website, which is www.gov.uk. And when you will search along with that, register a company, there might be a link coming up on your Google saying set up a limited company step by step. So you can go there and like register your company step by step. Also, with registering the company, keep in mind there is two types of company you can open: sole trader and limited. So sole trader, the director of the company or the owner of the company have more risk on him, whereas as a limited company works as a separate entity. Like anything goes wrong with the business in future, it wouldn't come directly on the director, it would go with company, and then company will have to face whatever like penalties or whatever the consequences will be. Company will face that, not the director directly. Whereas sole trader have more risk. If you're thinking to like get a visa through it and do all the stuff properly, I would recommend a private limited, no, like a limited company at least, so that it's easier for you and safer for you to like get a sponsorship through that.
So, Rishabh, can you also talk about what kind of documents did you have to submit while registering your company?
So there wasn't so much of documents. I think it needed his license, one of his ID documents, and again lease, which is like address proof. I think one of his utility bills. I'm sure it asks for a utility bill. So I think there is a list when you register that company. It gives you a list that you can use this document or that document. So personal ID and a proof of address. And for those who's not starting a restaurant and just a company, they can even register it at their home address.
Ah, cool. That's nice. Okay. So, for my audience, if you guys want to start your business and register, I'll provide the link that Rishabh is talking about. So, make sure you just go through it and check the kind of company you want to start and look at the documents they're asking for. As Rishabh is explaining, it's quite straightforward. Anybody can do it. But now let's get into the difficult part. Tell me about how much was the initial funding required for your restaurant to start a business, whether you do in a partnership or you do on your own. I mean, we talked about the first step about registering. Before that, you had found that property or the lease, where you want to start your business. Then you registered. What was the next? I would like to know the amount, like a rough amount to run a restaurant in the UK, so that my audience, they can have a rough idea how much it costs them.
Whatever cost I'm going to say to you guys, please be aware, like it varies location to location and from like city to city and business to business type. So don't just stick to that exactly, but like rough cost which I'm going to give you, right? So basically, it first started from the lease, because I had to get into a lease first. So I had to pay 2-3 months rent, as in like deposit to the landlord, and then another £750 to solicitor for the lease. And now you can go for 3-year lease, 5-year lease, 10-year lease, depending on the deal between you and your landlord. Like the tenant and the landlord can decide that. Now the lease cost was 750. The rent was around 800 for my shop. 3 months rent made it to 16 and 2400, and then another 750 on top, so it was around 3200, let's just say, or 300. So this was like basic cost to get into the lease first. Then coming on to the business, registering the company, it wasn't too much expensive. However, there is operational cost with the businesses. There is marketing cost, there is furniture and outlet cost, there is designing cost, and there is menu cost as well, and there is grocery cost as well. So you need an insurance for your business. You need to register with your local council 28 days before you start your business. You need a level 2 food and hygiene safety certificate. It wasn't too expensive, it was only £50. Then you need to register with the local council for your bin collections. So that was around 400-500 a year for single bin. Now it depends on your business size, like how big your business is and how many bins you're going to be needing and stuff like that. Then for insurance side of things, it was £500 to £600, and it depends on the size of business again. Apart from insurances, like you have to put a cost in furnitures and fixtures. So let's say if you buy a empty room for which is 500 square feet, according to my experience and my calculation, you will have to invest at least 8,000 to 10,000 pounds in the furniture, counter, board, lighting, fixtures, and fittings, including the labor, at least. Now it again, if you are opening it in London, it can go up to 25,000 as well, because the materials might be expensive or the labors might be expensive there. But it again depends. I am assuming it as 10,000 pound, because in a city like Newcastle, you would get it done for you can get it done for 10,000 pounds. So 10,000 pound was for furniture. Initial 3 to 4,000 pounds for lease, and then now coming on to the running side of it, like for your online food delivery platforms as well, there is a fee. It comes with a fee, like when you register with your Uber, Just Eats, when you open a current account, when you register with Deliveroo. So I will assume £1,500 for 3 platforms as well, which is like another 1,500 on top. And then coming on to the kitchen cost. So far, 10,000 was for the furniture and designing. Now, kitchen cost is separate to that. So your equipment, I would assume 10 to 12,000 pounds for that as well. And the bigger portion of that goes to your freezers, fridges, tandoor, fryer, and a gas. And your ongoing expenses, like let's say you want groceries, because you have a menu of 50 items, let's say, then your groceries would be at least 2,000 pounds to 2,500 pounds at least. But you would still need an operational cost of at least 5 to 8,000 pounds.
How long it's been since you started this restaurant?
It's been 3 to 4 months. Actually, I started hunting the business in January.
I really wanted to know when did you come into operation? From what you're saying, anyone who's looking to open a restaurant in the UK, of course, the cost will vary, whether it's in London versus outskirts of London or other parts. But for you in Newcastle, you're saying approx 20 to 30,000 pound already, right? Based on what
I would say at least 35, at least.
35. So I want to see if you have invested already 35 to run a business. Now it's been 3 months. Do you see a profit already or not?
Touchwood, I can't open it in exact figures, but I am beyond break even. So break even is what when your business is making more than, like not more than, it's like on a level where it's covering the expenses, and I'm still beyond the break even. So that is definitely there, that with the grace of God and help of the people around me and my loving followers, like kind of helped me a lot to build that base business, which kind of made me go beyond the break evens from very first month. If not, then you can just simply invite local influencers. Even I am doing it for my business. Even like I am myself is not enough for marketing. I still need other influencers. Like even your knowledge buddy Sarica ma'am helped me with that. So she also posted a story for my business, I remember, and try a barter. So barter means you can just give them food for free and they can do a promotional story or reel. If not barter, if you have a decent budget, pay them something and get it promoted.
Thank you. That's good to know, because when people start business, they don't take into account how much money goes into marketing, social marketing. Of course, you are a king already in social marketing. So, Rishabh, now we talked about the cost, we talked about documents, we talked about how your business is running. So, I understand currently you are on graduate visa, right? So, your next step would be to apply for a visa through this company, which we also are calling as self sponsorship, especially by the solicitor AY and J Solicitors. Are you already prepared for it? Do you know what are your next steps, or when are you planning to apply?
The only thing is, whatever the government fee is, it is there. Like your IHS fees, you still have to pay. Let's say if you get a sponsorship visa for 5 years, so your IHS fees comes around £5,000. Apart from that, there is a visa fee as well. So your visa fees and IHS fees would be again £7,000 approximate. I'm assuming it could be less or more, but I'm just giving a rough figure. And that is just your side of the fees. Now your business also has to pay certain fee to get that license to sponsor you. For that, again, there is a certain cost which I am not very clear with at this point, because my solicitor has informed me of that and I haven't gone through it very briefly. But again, it is approximately like there is two kind of cost letters you can apply for. Cost means certificate of sponsorship, and then one is defined and one is undefined. So one of those is for those who is living in UK already and wanting to switch their visa from a different category within UK. The other one is for those who's living outside of UK and want to come to UK on this visa for the first time or whatever, second, third time, doesn't matter. But it's for those who are coming from outside the borders of UK. Then there is solicitor cost, of course, involved, because he's going to process your case. So again, it depends on the type of solicitor you're going for, and make sure, guys, you choose a nice solicitor with this, because you need really someone strong who can process all of these documents very correctly in very correct manner to home office. Because if they even see one thing dicey, they're going to generate queries on it. And then every queries they generate, your solicitor will charge you extra for that. So if your solicitor is making your case very strong and nicely submitting it, try to go with the solicitor who have more experience, so you don't have to chase up again and again, resubmit those queries.
So as long as your solicitors are good, I don't think you would face any problem. And from the confidence you're talking, the things that you have done, I think you're already prepared. So Rishabh, I think I have got all the questions answered from you. So I believe now this is very clear for anyone who's watching this video. They know now the process, how to start their restaurant or any kind of business in the UK. And they got an approx idea of the cost to run a restaurant as well in the UK.
Just one quick one, sorry to stop you there. Before I leave this video, make sure you guys make enough to cover your salary from that business. A lot of people ask me like how much business has to make to sponsor someone. So if your business is making beyond break even, that which means it's covering your expenses and making some more extra money on top to cover that £38,000 salary or £31,000 salary, which is for recent entrants, then you can sponsor yourself.
Rishabh, anything else you want to say before we wrap up this video?
No, thank you so much for taking the interview and for your time. You have been a constant, very good and positive supporter of my journey as well. Thank you so much. And anything more than that, any more doubts, thoughts, question, queries, concern, feel free to drop comments on your Knowledge Buddies video and I'll try to reply through my personal ID. If not, just message me on Instagram. I try my best to reply everyone.
Rishabh's details will be there in the comment section. It will be in pinned comment description. Go and check it out. He make amazing reels, by the way. I really love seeing his reels. Amazing.
Okay. It's all yours. Blessings and support.
Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you for coming and sharing your journey with us. Thank you very much and good luck to you.
You're very welcome. Wishing you the same.
Thank you.